my co-host Erica, and today on Sweet and Sour Talk, we have a hot topic for you. Recently, I purchased a car that has a manual shifter, otherwise known as a standard, although it's not very standard. So, we are going to chit chat about automatic cars versus standard cars. And really just how rare a standard car is. But before we hop into that, what we would love is if you guys would support us at lemonade-life.com. Be sure that you are subscribed to our blog and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, on our blog, there's all kinds of awesome links that kind of link you up on all kinds of social media platforms. So be sure to go to lemonade-life.com. So, Erica.
Yes.
Can you drive a standard transmission? Wait, before you answer. I have a drink here. So those of you that were on our that were on our remedies in the pantry sweet and sour talk, Erica challenged me to drink a apple cider vinegar for 7 days. I don't even know what day I'm on. I'm so silly that I did not count the days.
It's been almost a week. You started Thursday.
You know, and I have to say at this point, I am starting to get a little bit more used to it. I have figured out a way that I can tolerate it. Warm 2 packets of sweetener, because we talked about the sugar, a little squeeze of lemon, and I'm good. Kind of. Let's see. It's okay. I mean, I'm not like almost vomiting, so we're good. But I just wanted to prove to y'all that I'm still doing the challenge.
Oh yes.
And I do kind of feel like it like does something, maybe to my digestive tract. Honestly, it's kind of where I feel it.
Sorry.
Maybe it helps break foods down a little bit easier. I don't know. I'm just told it's healthy. I don't know. But that's not what today's about. But I just want to show you that I am doing it.
Yay! I am not doing it. If you guys were on the last time, April had challenged me to try it while we were here on Live Me, and I wasn't a fan, you guys. I wasn't a fan at all. So I did not do it for 7 days because, you know, when I don't like something, I just don't like it.
Well, I'm a trooper, okay? I'm a trooper, and I'm going for it. Going for it. But that's not what today's about. Today is about automatic versus manual transmissions. I am a car person. Are you a car person?
I work on my car. I don't know if that classifies me as a car person.
Do you like to work on your car?
Yeah.
Then I think you are.
Yay!
So I don't necessarily like working on it. Like I have no problem getting in there and get a real job. Wow. We can probably remove that one. That's so hurtful because I probably make more than most people who have a real job. So it's kind of a funny little comment there.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't necessarily like working on my car, but I love to trick it out and make it unique. But I recently bought if you guys knew or didn't know, I was hit while my car was parked and they totaled it. Oh my gosh, almost 3 months ago. Can you believe it's been that long?
Wow.
It's terrible, and I still haven't even gotten, it's been a long saga. So I ended up just buying a cheap car to kind of get me by, but I kind of love it. I realized I'm such a little importer. Of course, we kind of grew up in the Fast and the Furious scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where did that car come from? So oh my gosh, I love it!
That car was perfect.
I don't know who did that, but I love you. That was amazing.
It was
That was
deep
awesome.
busy.
I don't know, but oh my gosh, you guys, that was epic. Okay, so I bought a little Mitsubishi Eclipse GTS convertible. It's a V6, and this bad boy has got me a standard transmission. And I'm going to talk about that here just a little bit. But can you drive a standard?
I first learned how to drive a standard car when I was 16.
Yes, I love that. It's honestly quite rare.
It
Um,
is.
it is. I actually taught most of my friends how to drive a standard when I was 16. I was teaching them on our cars. I drove a standard when I was 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Okay, so cool. So you can drive a standard too. That's awesome. Do you have a standard? Is your car manual?
Unfortunately, no.
When's the last time you had one that was a manual?
When I lived in New York.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
When was that?
I left New York when I was 19, so it's been a while since I owned one.
Okay. Do you think if you were like just drive one, you just pick it up like that?
I think so. I think it might be like riding a bike. Once you know how to ride a bike, you just don't forget.
Yep. I got in there and it was piece of cake. Piece of cake. Kind of concerned I was gonna kill it, but I didn't. So, you've got kids, I've got kids. My kids are older, yours are younger. Do your
Mm-hmm.
kids know anything about what a standard transmission is?
Yes.
They do.
They know about the whole. Yes.
You're
When
doing
I'm
better
out
than
fixing
me.
my car too, they're out there.
Okay, that is awesome. So
Mm-hmm.
you're doing way better than me because I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, and they kind of have heard of it, but they've never actually experienced or knew much about it. And so it's been very comical. Um, First, one of the questions was, why do you let off the gas when you're shifting gears?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, because you're going through neutral. So if you had your foot on the gas when you were in neutral, it would do nothing. You just rev your engine. And
Yep.
the look was kind of like, I don't understand. So we're going down a country road. We're going like 50 miles an hour. I pop it into neutral and I rev the engine. And the look on my 13-year-old's face was sheer shock. Like, oh, that was the coolest thing ever. She thought it was
Oh my,
so cool.
that is awesome.
It was awesome. Um, the other thing that really stood out to me that was funny is my driveway is a little slanted, and coming into
Mm-hmm.
the driveway, into the garage, it's on a slant, new car. I did end up killing it one day, going into the car or into the garage, not in the car. And I had the girls in the car, and all of a sudden they had like terror. They were like, "What just happened? The car just died. What's wrong?" And I start busting up laughing, and I'm like, I killed it. They were like, "You what? What does that what does that even mean?" So needless to say, it's been super duper fun. Apparently all their friends just think it's a race car. I love it. It kind of is. I mean, it's a little
Too
car with a
funny.
V6. The sucker goes fast.
Yeah.
So tell me your feelings against a standard and a manual or a automatic.
I don't know. I really don't have any. I feel like sometimes with the automatic, there's more distractions for me. There is.
I was
I
totally gonna go there. Oh my gosh, yes.
I get so distracted. And yeah, I feel like with the standard, there's more to it. So it's like you're not so distracted with everything around you. You're just like in the zone, like, yes.
Well, yeah, your hands are busy, your feet are
Mm-hmm.
busy. You have
Yep.
to like pay attention to what you're doing or you're going to kill your
Mm-hmm.
car.
Yep.
I wish that they made what I don't understand. They do these stupid little paddle shifters, and I'm like, I don't even, it's not even fun. No, I don't even want
Yes,
it.
I know. I know. A while ago, a couple of years ago, I want to say, maybe it was like 4 or 5. My mom had gotten this car that was, it was automatic, but it was also standard as well. And I was confused. I'm like, how do they put those two together? Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. And
Or
there
the
was
flat shifter,
this,
huh?
yeah, I'm like, this is so confusing. It's either one or the other. It shouldn't be both together because it makes no sense. I'm sorry,
It
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
No. And I've had cars like that. And here's the thing is if you're in the manual and you stretch that gear out too much, my car just flipped over and shifted for me. So you
Well,
could
that's
stretch your
fine.
gears. Right. So you could stretch your gears longer in the manual
Mhm.
than you could in the automatic, but it would still to protect the engine shift right over.
Mhm.
It's
Mm.
so dumb. We need to bring back the standard transmission. The
Yeah.
other thing, because this car is an older one, it's a 2003.
Mhm.
So there's no navigation. There is no backup camera.
Mhm.
There's no blind spot indicators. There's no like all of these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually have to drive this car. I actually have to pay attention.
Yep.
It's a novel thought. I feel like our cars have gotten so smart and so
Mhm.
easy that literally you can just sit in this freaking car and it basically does everything for you. So everyone's like, oh, well, this driving thing is boring. So I'm just going to scroll Facebook and watch live me's all while I'm driving. And it's like, well, I guess if we made driving more difficult for people, perhaps they would pay more attention.
Probably. I have a
I'm kind
pretty
of on a
old
rant.
car too. I have the '05.
Do you
There's
have all those
no,
features?
nope. I have a
No.
CD player though.
Me too. My kids
You
think it's
know,
funny. I have auto. Do you have automatic windows?
yes,
But
I do have that.
are they one button push automatic or do you have to hold your button down?
I have to hold it down.
Yeah, my kids were like, "You actually have to hold the button down?"
You know, I had this car. It was an old school car. Like I think it was a 98. It was a 98 Chevy Lumina and my kids, they had to roll the window down. They're like, "What is this?" They're like, "I'm
Okay,
not strong enough."
okay, but I'm more caught up on the fact that you're like, "It's an old school car. It's like so old." And then you say 1998.
I know,
Ouch.
right? I was just thinking of the little window you had to roll down.
Isn't
That's what
it
made it old.
bananas how I mean, I was trying to explain to my kids that a car is actually a fairly new invention.
Mhm.
I mean, let's see. We're in year 2019 and that would be AD. Okay? So that's not even including all the years BC.
Mhm.
And so that's 2019 years and a car has only been out for like 120 years. It's new. They
Yeah.
say they say, well, how would people get around? On a horse or your feet.
Yeah. I know.
And here we are. People needing backup cameras.
I know. I remember when I was growing up, we walked everywhere. My mom had a car, but she wasn't driving it to take you somewhere. She's like, "No, walk." I'm like, at that time, I'm just like, "Okay." I would
Yep.
walk outside like 2 towns over and like, oh, now it's just like walk to the corner. No, I need a ride. Why? It's to the corner.
Oh man. Okay, this is for all the parents who drop their kids off at school. I have to say it because you're talking about this, and this is like something that drives me absolutely bananas every morning. Every morning. I drop my kids off at school, and there's a line of cars of people trying to drop their kids off at school, right? There's this
Yeah.
sidewalk area where 5 cars can easily fit to drop their kids off at the sidewalk. What do
Mm-hmm.
people do? No, they don't want to drop their kid off until they're in the very front. I literally see some cars sit there, the second car back, and move 3 feet to then drop their kid off. Can we please just stop the madness? That is like the epitome of lazy. To sit there and go 3 more feet so your teenager can get out 3 feet ahead. And I'm telling you guys, I live in Texas, okay? So it's not -30 outside. It's not raining. It's maybe 30 degrees outside, 32. And the door is 30 feet away. Why
Mm-mm.
do we have to move 3 feet more and block everyone behind you when it could have been 5 cars letting 5 kids out, and then 5 cars move, and then 5 cars in? But no, everybody wants to pull up to the front to let their kid off. It is the most laziest, absurd thing that drives me nuts every single morning. So if you are one of those parents who has to get your kid in the front, not just you, I'm talking about anybody watching. If you're
Oh
one of those
no,
parents,
I'm saying not me.
no, if you have to get in the front of the line to drop your kid off, you have an ego problem.
Mm.
You don't have to be in the front of the car drop off line. It's not like first dibs or some special award to be in the front of the freaking line to drop your kids off at school. Like,
Mm.
just drop your kid off and then move along with your day. Don't drop your teenage kid off and watch them walk in the door. They're a
I get it.
teenager.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it. That's how it is over here too. Like in front of the kids' school, they have like a spot where all the buses park. There's supposed to be no cars there because that's where all the buses park. Those people don't care. And here I am, parked way down the street and across you got to cross the street, and then it's way in the middle of that block. Rain, snow, wind, whatever. We are walking from all the way over here to all the way over there. My kids are always like, Mom, why don't you park closer? I'm like, why? First, I am not getting caught in that. I am not getting caught in that traffic.
Mm.
Second, you guys could walk.
It's
Not gonna
really
it's not
okay.
gonna kill you guys.
No, it is good for them, actually. It's
Mm-hmm.
good for them to have fresh air. It's good for them
Mm-hmm.
to walk a little bit, to learn how to look out for cars. Like that stuff is good,
Yes.
teachable moments.
Mm-hmm.
But showing your child that you have to be at the front of the line all the time is creating spoiled little brats.
Yep.
Just saying.
Call it
People
like it
wonder why
is.
there's People wonder why there's a problem. Well, because you're creating the problem. And it is little things like that. Like, oh, I have to be in the front of the line to drop my kid off. Really? Because your poop don't stink and everybody else's does? Like, I really don't understand. I really
So
don't.
I had this random thought just pop in my head about our 2003 and 2005 cars. So I want to say last year or the year before, my sister had asked me to take my niece to school. So I was like, okay. So I pick her up, and you know how like in the early 2000 cars they have that little box type of thing that's underneath the radio. It's like it's kind of like an
My
in
car
bed.
has it, yes. It's not a
So
glove box, but it's like a little storage compartment.
Yeah. My my niece is like, "Is that a cell phone holder?" But that happened with me with the 1998 car. Was it 1998, 1999? One of those. My brother, he needed a ride to his football practice, so I took him. And this car had a cassette player. It was a cassette player, and he put his phone in the cassette player, thinking it was a phone holder.
No,
Like,
he didn't.
no.
You're lying.
No, I swear he shoved the phone in there, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You're gonna mess up my cassette player." And I put a cassette in there. I'm like, "Listen, you use this, you put it in there, and you take the wire and you plug it into your phone and you listen to music." He said, "You're too old school for me." What?
Oh, girl, I was just over at the store and I saw that they still sell the cassette recorders.
Oh my, that is great.
The big rectangle box where you get the blank recorder, you stick it in there and you hit record, and I kid you not, they're there for like $10. Is that not
That is
hilarious?
so awesome.
I just
That
don't know
is
where
so awesome.
I just it's been bananas. It's bananas. So, okay, well, here's my question for all of you lemonade lifers watching us. Okay, we want to know, do you prefer an automatic or do you prefer a manual? And can you even drive a manual? I was telling my girls they are going to get to learn how to drive a manual, and that is going to be a talent that they're going to have that 99% of their peers will not have because they don't even make these types of cars anymore. There's like, I don't know. I think Camaro has it and maybe the Mustangs have it, but I feel like that's it.
Hyundai
And
has it.
really,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
because a few of the people that I know, they have the Hyundai Velosters. They're like these sports cars, and they're standard.
Wow.
And they're
That's
newer cars. We're like 2 years
We need
old.
to like put a petition to all these car people and show them that we want the standard transmissions back. And I honestly
Yeah.
feel, I mean, I honestly feel like everyone's working so hard to make these cars so safe. And at the end of the day, the way that the cars stay safe is by the driver. The
Yeah.
driver keeps the car safe. We can't keep omitting the responsibility of the driver by making it so much
Hmm.
less distracting and so easy to drive. I mean, my gosh, there's so many cars. You just let go of the car and it parallel parks for you.
It's crazy because over here, Connecticut, Connecticut has a law that if a cop sees you on a phone, you're getting pulled over and you're getting a ticket. Massachusetts, same thing. Both hands have to be on the wheel. If a cop sees that your hands are not on that wheel, they have the right to pull you over and they will give you a ticket.
But I think that's the law in almost all the states, and it really doesn't
Really?
matter. Hmm.
Oh man, I know I've gotten pulled over for it, and I had my phone like this, and they pulled me over, and they said, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And at first I thought I was speeding, so I'm like, I don't know. They're like, ma'am, can you not be on your phone while you're driving? You're causing you can cause danger for other drivers and yourself. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, put it away. I did put it away. He said, this is a warning. Next time you'll get a ticket. I'm like,
Well,
okay.
I wish that they would severely enforce that. Can I tell you something else about driving and another area that I wish they would really severely enforce?
What's that?
Okay, it's going to be kind of funny. Especially let's just pick on Walmart because it's fun to pick on Walmart. Okay, so um, just in case we talked about dropping your kids off and kind of the etiquette there that seems to be lacking, but let's also talk about the no parking, no loading, no stopping in front of the freaking Walmart. Let's talk about the next step of lazy and the next
Mm.
step of people abusing things, okay? I have walked out of Walmart so many times where a very capable person on two legs is sitting in front of the store loading their car because it's a little cold outside. I have also seen them pull up into the sidewalk to drop their people off, put their hazards on because that makes everything better.
You
And
didn't know that?
it's like, oh, I can put my hazards on, so that just means I can do whatever I want. No, wrong. And I'm the type of person that I'm gonna be like, oh, is somebody hurt? Like, do you need help?
Mm-hmm.
You have your hazards on and you're parked on a sidewalk. Hello? So, just in case people didn't know why this is not allowed and it's a red curb means no parking. Apparently, nobody knows this.
Mm.
But the reason that this is like that is because of safety. If you park and a little kid comes running out of a door and you cannot see him, and what does everybody do? Because you're parked there blocking traffic, pissing everyone off. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now they're going around you, typically a little aggressive because you just made them mad. Now here comes the little kid running out here right in front of mom.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's right there, but there goes the kid. Here comes the aggressive driver. Boom. And you just knocked a kid over. And it's your fault
Yeah.
because you stopped and caused the entire thing. But everyone's so like wrapped up in their own little world, they don't even think, hey, I could be doing this and kill a kid today. Hello? Oh, girl,
Yeah.
I'm on a roll tonight with this car
You
driving
are.
parking situation.
Yep. And you see a lot of it too, because over here, I don't know, people they confuse what a stop sign means,
Oh, does
and
it mean roll through? Is that what it means? I can just roll right through it?
you just don't even slow down.
Oh no.
I mean, who would have thought? You don't even slow down. And I have been behind a few cars that just they don't even stop, and I'm like, well, thank goodness there wasn't another car coming in the intersection, because that would have been insane. There was this one day, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. It was raining, and there's like a gas station down the street from my house, but there's like this little stop sign. And usually, people stop at a stop sign. I mean, that's what it means. Stop,
Yes.
you know,
I mean, it's even
big
spelled
white
out.
letters.
No guessing.
Exactly. It's spelled out in bold white letters on a big, huge red sign. You can't miss it. I mean, it's there. Unless you're blind, and if you're blind, you shouldn't be driving. I'm sorry. So, this guy on a bike was driving his bike, and boom. And I'm pulled over because I need to, see if this guy's okay. He's out. He's laid out. So pulled over, trying to check on him. He's trying to get up, and I'm like, sir, you should probably sit back down. Yet you just got hit by a car. You sit
Yeah.
down, wait for an ambulance. And I'm talking to him, trying to make sure he knew what his name was, where he was going, what day it was, all that stuff. And he's like, are you a doctor? Nope, I am not. I'm just a concerned citizen. So the cops came, and I'm trying to explain to them what happened. And the cop was so rude. He's like, ma'am, we don't need you here. I'm like, oh,
You're a
okay. You
witness
should
to
probably,
oh my gosh, I can't even believe that. He was too
I
concerned
know, and
about the people on their phones like this.
I'm just like, you should probably see if that lady can see clearly because that's a big red stop sign. But, oh, I mean, okay, have a good day. And I drove off.
Right, right. I'll tell you one other thing, and we'll end this because we're having fun on the car talk today. But a tragic situation just happened like 2 or 3 days ago here, probably about 4 miles from my house. I live out in the country, so I don't have things up like a block away. They're like miles away.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one road that connects the freeway back into other country highway roads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, every day I'm on this road, and every single day there's this intersection that has stoplights, and these semi trucks see that it's turning yellow, and sometimes they have the ability to stop and choose not to. Other times you can see they've got a heavy load and they really don't have the time to stop and they just barrel through this intersection. Just if you guys are a tractor trailer driver and you're going through a red light, you need to honk your horn. You need to let people know that you're coming through. It's a big air horn and people can hear you, right? Because there's a road coming through and it's blind. So if I'm going 40 miles an hour, my light is green and I'm going, I don't know that you're about to run this light. Well,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, about 4 miles up, about 3 days ago, a truck driver blew through a intersection. A mom and her two kids went through, and he killed the child in the back car because he did not blow his horn.
Oh my goodness.
Mom and the other child were life lighted out. How simple is it when you're running a light and you're in a huge big rig to pull your dang air horn and not hit, but you're warning people I can't
Mm-hmm.
stop. Like we understand you're in a semi truck and if you're going 65 miles an hour and the light turns yellow and you just don't have enough time to stop, okay. But you blow your air horn, those other cars are going to hear that warning and be like, "What's going on?" And they may not
Yeah.
jump right out there. And because of that, a little 2-year-old died. So
Wow.
it's just thinking about other people when you're driving. Like we started this off and we were having so much fun talking about automatic versus manual. And we still want to hear what you guys have. What do you drive? Automatic, manual? What do you love driving? Like we love that. But at the same time, there's a lot of safety concerns that are going on because driving has become so easy. And I really
Yeah.
feel that we need to make driving more difficult and help people understand that it is it's literally like a danger to drive. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
more, people are so scared of flying and I laugh. I'm like, you are more likely to die in a car accident than on a plane. That's so dumb. It's like
Yeah.
you just there's so many things that could go wrong. And so turning this into a safety a safety episode. But driving a manual is way funner. So there's my sweet to the sour. I'm so grateful. I've wanted a manual transmission for a while, so I'm very glad that I have one and am able to teach my children that and be able to teach them how to drive it and hopefully be a little bit more attentive while they're driving.
Yes. I cannot wait for my kids to be old enough to drive so I could teach them.
You say that, but it's terrifying.
I could imagine. I remember when I was learning how to drive, and I think I was more annoyed with the person who was trying to teach me. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done. You can't. I can't. I parked the car in the middle of the road. I got out the driver's seat and I'm like, you can drive home. I'll walk. I need to cool down because you are annoying, sir.
That is intense.
Yes.
Because it's terrifying. I'm telling you, you will understand when you are the parent. And it's one thing when you teach your kids how to ride a bike and you're so scared they're
Yes.
gonna skin their knees and they're gonna fall off and they're gonna fall,
Mhm.
right? It's a whole other thing when they're driving a vehicle that can damage somebody else's property, can damage
Yes.
people, like
Mhm.
mailboxes.
Oh man,
It,
I know.
it's
I
scary.
know. I hope the
It,
day don't come though when my daughter's like, "Can you teach me how to drive a bike?" Because I learned how to drive street bikes too. So that's a no.
no, why not? Maybe teach her that first and then the car won't be so bad.
Maybe. I mean, she's gonna be really tall, so maybe it'll work out with her. But I know for me, when I was learning, my feet couldn't reach the ground, so I was like tippy toeing it, and
Mm,
it was just like timber. Psh, there
yeah,
goes
yeah.
everybody in the bike.
Yeah.
I couldn't reach the ground, you guys. I'm not even short though. I'm like average height.
That's so weird.
I
I
know.
don't know. I'm not, I, that's something I've never really learned or done. I think
It's fun.
I like four wheels, so I do the whole four wheeler bit.
I like to just try new things. Like, all right, I tried it once. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't.
Like apple cider vinegar.
No, that's a no. That's a big negative for me, you guys. Anybody who
That's,
asks, don't worry, I'll politely decline. No, thank you.
oh goodness. All right, we got any final thoughts? Let's close her out.
I have absolutely no final thoughts for standard versus automatic. I would suggest just give it a shot. If you have a friend or a family member who does have a standard car and you've never experienced driving one, give it a shot. Who knows? You may like it. You may pay more attention to the road than you do your cell phone.
Yeah, and you get better gas mileage once you learn how to drive it.
I know. And I hear, well, the the cars are made better when they're standard.
I mean, I'll tell you, they're made better in the year that we have. This car is solid. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they made it not with aluminum, like metal, not fiberglass. It's heavy metal.
I
Like,
feel like a lot of the older cars were made better because my '05, mm, that car, that car. Like it had its little problems at first, but I fixed them all up, and there are little things here and there. But telling you that car it's great. It's great. I'm gonna be sad when I have to upgrade it, because it's a solid car, and cars these days are kind of fragile. So I'm gonna be sad.
yeah, because the driver's side door on my car, it's missing a little stopper or whatever. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really realize how often when I park and I'm gathering my stuff, getting everything out of the car, that I open my door and I put my left leg out of the car, and then the rest of me is still in while I grab stuff. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
first day that I was driving quite a bit, I realized real quick how often I do that because there's no stopper, and that heavy door squished my leg about 3 times, and I had bruises everywhere. And I was like, lesson
Mm-hmm.
learned. I was telling Damron
Yeah.
I may get the suicide doors. Since it's a two-door,
Right.
get the ones that go straight up. I mean, why
Mhm.
not have fun with it?
I know, right? I mean, I was looking at the new Teslas, and those things are pretty awesome. The doors open up in like suicide doors. And I'm just like,
They like,
wow.
no,
I
I
mean,
think they're fly doors. They like fly out,
yeah, they
don't
go straight up. Like, it's cool because with this car, it senses if you're parked too close to another car. And so when the doors go to open, it kind of like pushes in the bottom part and it like opens straight up and then it comes out. I think I was more like fascinated with the celebration mode than anything. So that car will not be a car for me because I'd probably kill the battery just by doing the celebration mode all the time.
they? It seems to be that it's another car where you don't have to think about,
I know.
hitting the car next to you.
I would be more thinking about when I could watch celebration mode again. Grab popcorn, guys. We watching this thing go to town.
Oh my
That would
gosh.
be me.
You
So
are
that car's not for me.
not
No.
for me either. I hear you can't even do anything to them that like you don't really own them, so you can't like trick them
Yes.
out or do
I
modifications and
know,
that's
right? Like, who would want to do that?
let me no, yeah. Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Let me have you tell me what I can do with my car.
Mm, no. More control. I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yes,
All
definitely.
right.
Me too.
Close us out, Erica. Go for
All
it.
right, you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight and listening to us talk about standard versus automatic. We still would really love to hear your input, so be sure to let us know if you have ever drove a standard car or if you just love your automatic cars. Be sure to follow us. We will follow you back. And with that said, have a wonderful night.
Bye.